What's up guys? So today we're going to be taking a look at the brand new Hollyland Pyro 7 monitor. Now for full transparency, Hollyland was kind enough to send this out and give us early access to test this out. And also they sent over their Pyro S series wireless transmitter and receiver. Now we did get a chance to use this on several shoots, and a lot of you guys, especially if you saw the behind the scenes of No Good Legend, have been asking me about this monitor. We're going to talk a lot about the monitor, but first let's go over the ecosystem of products. So this wireless transmitter and this receiver are part of their Pyro S series line. Now you can pick both of these up for $6.99, which is actually a really good deal considering all of its feature set. The build quality itself is made out of space grade magnesium alloy, so it's very lightweight. In fact, when I hold it in my hand, the antennas actually feel that they weigh more than the actual device itself. Now at this price point, you would think that they would cut corners, but I'm surprised to see that not only does it support HDMI in, but you can also do SDI in, and on the receiver side, this also has HDMI out and SDI out, which I really like. Now there's two types of ways you can power the transmitter and receiver. One of them is using Sony NPF style batteries. Typically the way I like to power it, and probably the way I'm gonna do it the most time, is using their DC input. So right now I have it connected to the Condor Blue battery via DC. And then as a director's monitor, what I like to do is have a V-mount battery on my monitor stand here, and again you can see the power cable is just directly onto the monitor. Now with this transmitter you can send out 4 different video signals. What that means is that you can have this connected to, let's say, a small HD monitor, or let's say you want to use this Hollyland Pyro 7 as a receiver, or you can also use the Hollyland app, which is great. So you can do a combination of those 4. So you could do 2 on the app and let's say 2 on the Pyro 7, or let's say 1 on the Pyro 7, 1 on the receiver, and then 1 on the app, and then the other one however you want. So that's kind of cool. Now moving back to the Pyro 7 monitor, this is a transceiver. What that means is that you can set this up to be used as a transmitter, or you can use it as a receiver. So right now, as you see, we're using it as a receiver. So it's receiving the signal from this transmitter, and you can see I'm blocking or moving my hand here in front of the lens, and you can see my hand is showing up. Now the Pyro series has a dual band 2.45 gigahertz frequency, and it'll auto hop depending if one frequency is congested or not. Now in the month that I've been using this, I haven't experienced any image drops, any frequency issues, any latency problems. In fact, there was one shoot that I was very impressed because we were doing a car scene where my director and DP were in one vehicle and we were in the chase vehicle, and we were like a little under a quarter mile away of distance, and the whole entire time everything was spot on, no frequency issues, no latency, everything was just perfect.
Okay. Ready when you are. Doing your speed. And action.
Now I want to shift my focus now to the Pyro 7 monitor because I think this thing is awesome. Now as I mentioned earlier, this is a transmitter and also a receiver. Now the way I would use this is I would actually mount this to my camera, because when I mount this to my camera, that means that I can eliminate all of this. I don't need this anymore because again, this is a transmitter. So I'm gonna go ahead and do that, and then we're gonna talk about it. So this is the Pyro 7, and as I mentioned, I really like this product. So I set this up as a transmitter, and it's so easy. Look, I tap here, go to wireless, you can see where it says mode, transmitter, right? I can also set this to a receiver, but if I go on this side, you can see that this is set as a receiver. So obviously this is receiving the signal from this one. And the beauty of this is that I didn't have to do anything. It just did it automatically. When you set the channel to auto over here, it just works right out of the box. I really like that. I don't mess with anything. But let me give you a quick tour around the actual monitor itself before we actually dive into the settings. Now in the back, you have an HDMI input and output. You have an SDI input and output. You also have a 3.5 millimeter headphone jack, and you have a USB-C output. Now what's neat is with the USB-C output, you can actually connect this to your PC and it'll recognize it as a webcam. So you can use this for live streaming, OBS, or whatever platform you use. So that works out really great. Now you also have an F1 and F2 function buttons. You can program this for whatever you want. So when I tap F1, you can see it locks the screen. I prefer it over touching the display just because you get a lot of touch marks. So lock the display, unlock it. My F2 is actually going to be my focus peaking. So I could turn that off and on. Again, if I'm pulling focus, that's definitely something, or if I want to see, make sure I get critical focus, I want to be able to quick access that. Now, user interface is very intuitive and very easy to use. There's a record button here on the left-hand side. You can actually record to the monitor. So you have an SD card located here, It comes with a 32 gigabyte one, and then you can, of course, view playback. You have all the controls that you would expect from a monitor. So you've got peaking, you've got waveforms, you've got false color, you can turn on LUTs on and off, you can import your own LUTs, you can de-squeeze the image. So we're using an anamorphic lens right now. You can flip the image, invert the image, rotate the image. There's just so much stuff that you can do in here. And then over here, again, I showed you guys this a little bit earlier, you have the wireless transmission settings. So if I'm using this strictly as a monitor, I can take the antennas off. And that's what I like this, because it's so lightweight. I don't have to use this as a transmitter. I can just turn that off. It's gonna save me on battery life. But right now we have it to transmitter mode. Broadcast mode is off. Now here's something cool. Right now I have it to smooth mode. So it's going to give me the fastest frequency or the lowest latency. Now I can send or change this to HQ mode. Now what HQ mode is gonna do, and you can actually see this happening on this side, is it's going to change this to a higher quality. This is probably best for directors, hair and makeup. And even though it's in HQ mode, look at the latency, watch. It's still very quick. Now remember, this is going to be for directors that are gonna want a higher quality image as opposed to a focus or a first AC focus puller who's gonna want like lower latency. So I'm gonna go back and change this to smooth mode. Channel switch, I gotta tell you guys, I leave this on automatic and it just works. In fact, if you buy two separate units, because these came independently, they were boxed, like it's not like they came paired together. I turned this on, I set this to transmitter, I set this to receiver. They were both on automatic, and boom, immediately they just paired. You don't have to do anything. That's great. Display, you can change the brightness, 1200 nits of brightness. I've had no issues viewing this in daylight. You can change the colors. I think the colors look great right out of the box. So in system here, you can change different parameters like your input, HDMI or SDI. You can switch the fan setting from low to automatic. Again, I'm not gonna go through every single one of this. Very intuitive, very easy to understand. So after using the Pyro series of Hollyland's wireless transmission systems for over a month, I gotta say, I am very impressed, but more importantly, the Pyro 7 is hands down one of my favorite products of 2024. I love the form factor. I love how lightweight it is. I love all the features the monitor offers. So I really like the Pyro 7, and I would highly recommend it for anybody who's looking for a solid wireless transmitter or receiver. So yeah, that's kind of like my little mini review of the Hollyland Pyro 7 and also their Pyro S series of transmission systems. If you guys have any questions, leave me a comment down below. My name is Armando. Thanks again for watching, and you will catch me in the next one. Adios. Look, this is great. Look, no, this is good because we could see. Are you on 24? Yeah. Okay, this is good because look how far away they are, and look at the feed. No, like perfect, dude. Dang, look how far, dude. This is amazing. That's impressive.
Yeah, he's from back Colorado. So you can stop. Okay, we are good. And this is Picture Road. So this is it, guys. And again, whenever you're ready,